And right now we're kind of cutting into Chris Green's merch time, so I'm going to ask you guys to do me a little favor. We're going to leave just a tad late for lunch today, but we're going to make it worth your time, I promise. Lunch was so convenient yesterday, wasn't it, guys? Is that okay if I take a few minutes? All right. So Chris, we got you, buddy. You're going to get your full time. But I want to introduce Chris, and then stick around when he's done. I'm going to hop back on stage. We got something for you guys that's going to make it totally worth it for you to stick around and be a little late to lunch. But Mr. Chris Green is the king of merch. And as we said, like who knows more about merch than Chris? You guys, if you guys don't know what merch is, after this, you're going to be super excited. Another income stream that you guys can jump into. It's so super simple. I was at an event, and I know Chris is going to have some stories, but it's just been a few weeks ago out at Brett's place. We had Chris there, a bunch of merch pros, and one of the ideas they threw out there was, hey, contact artists who have art. It costs you nothing, and say, hey, I want to put your art on a merch shirt and split the proceeds with you. What do you say? And there's people who do just that, and that's all they do. It costs them nothing. They contact artists. They say, hey, I've got a merch account. You don't. Let me put your stuff on a shirt. You sign a little contract that we provided as part of the course, and I did that, and it's happening right now. I could give you guys the name of this cartoonist, and you guys would be like, wow, really? And a lot of you would recognize the name. He's a nationally syndicated cartoonist. I just contacted him, and he said, yeah, sure, let's give it a shot. And so now I've got a nationally syndicated cartoonist putting his merch stuff on my account on Amazon. How nuts is that? It cost him nothing. It cost me nothing. We get paid when we sell shirts. It's that simple, and Chris is going to blow your mind with the simplicity of this model. Let's give Mr. Chris Green a huge, warm welcome, CES style. You're the man.
Good, buddy. So I'll bring you back up.
All right, dude, bring me up if you want to.
You guys can hear me? Wow, I like that. It just works. This is the first, this is an impressive audio video setup. You guys like the AV setup here? How many 5-timers are here? All right, you guys remember the first CES? Not the doggy gym. Yeah, they didn't have this at the first CES. We were like, only mics. It was crazy. So I'm excited to be here. Like Jim said, there's a lot to talk about with merch. I've got some stuff to give away, so everybody, we'll get to that. And I actually wrote down some notes. Kat's backstage. She feels so bad. She's like, you're nervous? What are you nervous about? I'm like, I want to make sure I deliver the most value out of all of the presenters here. So yes, other presenters, this is a competition. All right? And I think I got to catch Dan Miller, I think. I think he's the front runner now. So I'm coming for you, Dan. All right? You ready? All right. Well, I do want to start this off by thanking Jim Cockrum. And it's really easy to say, oh, let's thank Jim Cockrum. Guys, there's a lot of people here. This is a big team that makes this happen. So this isn't just for Jim Cockrum. This is for Jim Cockrum's team. Everybody, Ray, Steve, everybody that makes this happen. That puts this on. Big shout out to them. And Jim, personal thanks for allowing me to come up on this stage. I know you got a network of people, and I take it very serious that you trust me to come on this stage and deliver content to your audience. So just know I take it very serious, and that's why I'm nervous to make sure I deliver all of the content that we've gone over. Because in the past, when was it? It was 2 months ago, we did a 3-day event just on merch out in California at Brett's place. 3 days. 3 days of content. And then last week or 2 weeks ago, we just did another 2-day conference in Seattle. I can't tell you who was there. There were a couple guys from Amazon there. And they told us some stuff that they can't tell you themselves, right? So I can tell you things, and you might say, you don't work for Amazon, even though you wear Amazon shirts, and you guys saw the shirt I wore yesterday. That's not from Amazon. You can buy that on Amazon. It goes in and out of stock, though, so set up a Keep Alert, and you can get that shirt. And I'm dressed down today. There's a lot of collars here. I'm impressed with the dress code, but I'm wearing a T-shirt because this is a merch T-shirt. The code word for merch when they made it was Orca. So they actually uploaded this shirt. This is an Amazon shirt that they uploaded privately, but we found it anyway, and then we bought it. And I don't think we were supposed to buy it, but they can't take it back now at this point. So I got 5 days worth of content to cram into 1 hour. So I'm going to try and make sure I give you guys the best content, kind of explain merch. Who's a newbie, has no idea what merch is? Anybody? See, I got content for you guys. Who's got a merch account and is like, yes, now tell me how to rock it. I got to have content for you guys. See, this is a challenge to get something for everybody. So I accept the challenge, and I'm going to do my best with it. We're going to try and do a bit of an overview, so we are going to explain what merch is. Then we're going to get into kind of the history of merch, some best practices for merch and Amazon in general, and then kind of the future of merch. If there's time, we'll do a Q&A. Do stick around. Don't go to the bathroom at the end, because Jim has a pretty good announcement for you guys at the end of this. You guys have heard of Jim saying he wants to bring dads home. That's part of his ministry, right? He wants to let you guys be able to make money at home so that you have options, right? If you want to homeschool your kids, stuff like that. We can bring moms home too. I don't know if it's only dads. We can bring the moms home. We can do anything that you want. And Jim's done an amazing job with that, right? And when FBA came out, right? Who's FBA in like the what do you call like the 08s, right? Like the first decade, right? Like before 2010, FBA sellers. Anybody? There's a few, okay? FBA came out kind of the same time that Android and iPhone was kind of taking over. There were mobile apps, there was 4G networks, and all that made selling scalable, right? It made selling something like, oh, okay, this makes sense. We can all do this. Who would do retail arbitrage without their phone and without FBA? One person. You are brave. You heard the question right, did you? Did I say it wrong? One brave soul out of here would continue to do RA without all that stuff. So FBA made selling scalable and made it a great way to bring dads home. Merch will bring more dads home than any other platform I've ever seen. And I'm trying to think what's the next thing, what's better than merch, what would be easier than a no risk, no cost, royalty generating business on Amazon? I don't know what's going to be better than merch. I don't know what's going to be here in 2 to 3 years. But right now, for the foreseeable future, merch is the platform that will bring the most dads home, okay? So who does not have a merch account at all? Okay, now keep your hand up if you have not even applied. Shame on you guys, right? Sign up. There's no reason not to. It's not an instant thing, it's an invitation. So on your phones right now, unless who still has the flip phone? Anybody? You guys can't apply. One guy, right? There's always one, right? Go to computer and sign up. Merch.amazon. We'll get to that. This is, in my opinion, the biggest opportunity for the most people, simply because it doesn't require capital. You can just go. It doesn't take money, right? And there's no inventory. There's no risk. Even if you commit the worst offenses and you get your account banned, you're not going to jail, right? Now, if you sell, like carving knives and someone loses their finger and you don't have insurance, because you all have insurance, right? Right, okay, good. So, yeah, whoever said yes was saying yes for everybody. I don't know, would you go to jail for that? You're going to get in trouble for that, but you're not going to get in major trouble for putting a Captain America shield on merch and getting it taken down and getting kicked off, right? So it is a very attractive platform in that sense. Dan Miller did talk about 3 things you guys should be thinking about to improve yourselves. If merch by Amazon is not on that list somewhere, I think you're crazy. I think you're nuts, right? Now, I've talked to a bunch of you guys over the past day, and a common theme has come up about it's like kind of like an entrepreneur's curse right now. You guys kind of feel that way, like there's too many opportunities. What should I be doing? You tell me to do merch. Like a few years ago, you're telling me to do FBA, and yet last year you were telling me to do CreateSpace. I'm like, yeah, do all of them. Or do the ones that make the most sense for you, all right? So don't think, oh, Chris Green got up here and Jim was all excited and all this stuff about merch. I need to do merch. If merch isn't for you, if you're killing it with private label, right? Like KJ should probably not get into merch. He should probably put his little speakers up on merch, like just to get some publicity, but he should not take away from that business that he's building to do merch, right? He's in his lane and needs to stay there. I don't know what lane everybody's in, but I think if you don't spend maybe at least 10% of your time looking at merch, I think you're crazy. Because we're going to look at some stuff now and where it is right now and then where it's going. I think you guys will agree. It's like, yeah, this is the biggest opportunity. And if you're not a designer, anybody here born a designer? Like you came out designing, right? Like one of everything, okay. I would disagree that you're born a designer, but prove me wrong. Every designer has learned to be a designer, right? There are going to be a lot of merch services, right? Merch designing services, merch apps, all these things. Just like merch is less than 2 years old, right? FBA is a decade old. And now look at all the vendors that we got for FBA and selling on Amazon stuff. There's not a lot for merch. There will be more. That means it'll get easier. I'll tell you about some of the stuff that's coming that's going to make selling with merch a lot easier than it is now, because it's not easy to change prices. It's not easy to update keywords. That stuff is going to get easier. There are growing pains with the platform, and then we'll get to those. So who has absolutely, like honestly, no idea who I am, never seen me before, don't recognize me if I'm not wearing a visor? One guy? The visor, I got the hands for the visors, I get it. We're inside, it is bright. I mean, I did bring my, you guys see how bright that is? I brought my sunglasses, but I don't think I can read the slides if I don't have them. My name is Chris Green, for those of you that don't know me. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. I know usually speakers get up and they say, you should listen to me because here's all my experience. I got a lot of experience with Amazon. I've got a decade with Amazon as a seller, as an author, as a vendor, as a merch designer, as an advocate, as a pretty much everything with Amazon. I don't work for Amazon. So if I say it, it's not from Amazon. But you can bet if I say it, it's probably pretty accurate, right? So I'll give you that and just leave it at that without wasting more time on all the stuff that I've done with Amazon. But that's the kind of information I want to bring you guys is like, oh, if Chris Green says it about Amazon, yeah, it's probably true. It probably comes from a pretty good source, even though I can't name my sources. Fair enough? Okay. All right, pressure's on. Is the clicker going to work? I trust you guys. I don't want you guys to think I don't trust the audio team. Yeah, get on the rocket. I was going to say, is it get on the rocket or is it the power of a t-shirt? And I went with get on the rocket. And there's a slide in here that's going to explain why. And you're probably like, what is this? This is a boat. Not a rocket, it's not a t-shirt, it's not Amazon, it's not anything. And I really don't know why. I was driving around, and I love driving. I drive without the radio on. If you guys have never tried that, I recommend it. Ditch the radio, ditch it completely. You can think. That's where I have my best ideas is driving around in the car. And this story popped into my head, and it made perfect sense for kind of comparing or getting you guys ready for merch. This is my dad's boat. This is in Fort Lauderdale. It was about 10 years ago. He wanted me to sell it, so he sent me all these pictures and things. I put it on eBay. I think he wanted way too much money for it. I think he thought it was worth like $30,000, which I don't know anything about boats. Probably if it was like brand new, I don't know. So he wanted me to sell, so I had these pictures of it. And then he got sick. He moved to Mexico without telling anybody. It's not funny, right? Like, this is a tragic story I'm setting up, right? So he moved to Mexico, didn't tell anybody. Then I get a phone call from Mexico in like half Spanish, like, your dad's sick, he had a stroke. And I'm like, who is this and where are you? And that's when I find out he's moved to Mexico. He's moved to like some like Canadian retirement community near Guadalajara. And I'm in Dallas at the time. I'm like, okay, well, let's figure this out. My brother's in Seattle. So we end up going down there, and we don't know anything about what my dad's been doing. Nothing. We don't know his finances. We don't know anything. We find out, okay, he's still got this boat. He didn't sell it. All we have is this picture. So he has a stroke. He's like paralyzed on one side. He can't communicate very well. So we're like, where's your boat? And he can't tell us. Okay, let's solve the problem, right? Me and my brother are smart guys. So I'm like, this is what we got. We got this. My brother used to live in Fort Lauderdale. And he's like, so he looks at the buildings in the back, and he gets on Google Maps, and he finds the boat on Google Maps. He's like, it's got to be this one. This has got to be the place where it is. So I fly to Fort Lauderdale. I at least have keys to the house, or he has a condo there. And I go over this place. I have no idea where this place is. I have no idea who lives there. There's like a 95-year-old guy who lives here. And he was like super sick. And like a few weeks later, the guy who owned the house where this boat was actually passed away. And I'm like, I feel bad. And now like my problems are compounded a little bit because I went there to say, look, my dad's sick. He's in Mexico. I know you don't know me, but all this stuff. Can we leave the boat here? We're trying to sell it. And then the guy who lived here, his son was like, you can't leave it here. You got to get rid of it in like 2 weeks. I was like, I got no place to put it. I don't live in Florida, right? I live in Texas. I'm like, okay, let's sell this thing. So I'm putting it on Craigslist. I'm putting it on eBay. I'm putting it everywhere that I could to sell this thing. I get an interested guy from Canada. And this is back when, like, if you took a Canadian phone call, it like cost a lot of money. So I'm like, all right, I'll take the call. I'm gonna sell this boat. And he asks all these questions. I know nothing about boats. He's like, does it start? I'm like, I don't know, let me try it. I'm like, no, it doesn't start. He's like, well, what's wrong with it? I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, does the motor turn? I was like, what? I don't know anything about motors. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like, how can I test that for you? So he says, well, open the things in the back, find the motor. I'm like, okay, there's the motor. He's like, now look for something like this and then try to turn it. So I find something, and I'm like, yeah, okay, it turns, which I guess means it's not like frozen or seized or something. He's like, okay. And I was asking like nothing. I was asking like $5,000 for the boat, and I would have taken $1,000. I would have took $500. I would have took anything. Like, it's not my boat, and I literally have to get rid of it. Like, I don't have a choice. I was calling like Boat Angel. You guys seen this, like Car Angel, Boat Angel didn't answer the phone. That's a true story. They did not. I was going to give them the boat. They wouldn't answer the phone. So the guy on the phone, I've been nothing but honest with this guy. Told him everything to the truth, like every single thing. Like, yes, my dad's in Mexico. He's sick and all this stuff. And he finally says, all right, kid. Actually, he called me kid. What's the real story with this boat? I'm like, what do you mean? What's the real story? Like, everything I've told you is the truth. He's like, let me guess. You bought this boat. You got in over your head. You don't know what's wrong with it. Now you're trying to unload it. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm trying to give you a boat. Like, I have a problem, and I'm hoping you're my solution. And he asked me all these questions, and like, he was accusing me of like not being truthful and honest. And why? Because it was too good to be true. He was like, how am I going to get this boat for a couple grand? Like, that's no way. There's no way I stumbled onto this. It was too good to be true, right? Have you guys ever got to a point where like, that's too good to be true? So this guy doesn't buy the boat. I'm like, I just spent like $18 on a Canadian phone call. And I felt kind of cheated. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm telling the exact truth. And he doesn't believe it. I'm like, I don't know. I should have tried to rip him off. It would have worked better. So I'm stuck again. I'm still in Florida for like 4 or 5 days trying to clean up my dad's stuff and all the stuff at his condo. So I make up this flyer, and I'm like, okay, I got an idea. I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna go door to door, because this is like intercoastal, so there's all these nice houses. Everybody has boats. Everybody knows boats in Florida. So I go door to door, like this guy, like just me, asking people that I don't know, hey, here's a crazy story. My dad's sick in Mexico. But his boat is two doors down. Your neighbor, the sick guy, yeah, that's where my dad's boat is. You want to buy it? Or do you know someone who wants to buy it? And it was the honest truth. It was totally true. They could have given me $1,000 cash, and I would have said, it didn't run, so we would have had to like kind of tug it down and say, now it's your boat, right? And to me, now it's your problem, right? Because it was a problem for me, and nobody took me serious. No one bought the boat because it was too good to be true. No one comes to your door, is like, yeah, I got this $5,000 Ferrari, and I'm just not into it. You want to buy it? Doesn't happen. Even if it's real, you wouldn't buy it. You'd be like, there's something wrong with it. I don't know this kid. Like, it was very frustrating to explain something that's too good to be true. The silver lining of this story is the last day I was there, someone called from Miami and said, you still got the boat? And I was like, yeah. He's like, what's the condition? And I was so mad because I was so stressed out from this. And the condition was in the listing. Like, I was as transparent with this as possible. He's like, and I was like, are you kidding me? It's in I was yelling at him. I didn't even know this guy 1 second into the phone call because I was so stressed out. And he ended up buying it for $5,000. $5,000, they bought the boat. I forget how it even happened. I think he mailed me a check, and I mailed him the title, and I was like done. Like, I would have sold it for anything. He said, okay, I'll give you the $5,000. I literally would have taken anything. I would have took $20. I had to. Like, I was stuck. I couldn't leave it there. Like, that guy passed away. His kids were like, no, get it out of here. Like I'm not your free doc. Like, docs aren't free. And this story popped in my head, and I wanted to tell it to you guys because it was a great example of it's too good to be true, so people don't believe it, right? Who heard of merch at least a year ago and has still not requested an account? Admit it, own your shame. Am I right? It's too good to be true. Why would I sign? Merch is too good to be true, in my opinion. It's completely free. There's no risk. You can make money. You're on Amazon. Amazon's going to give you organic search. You're going to get free, it's free money. And when you understand Amazon, you know how Prime works. You know customers are going to Amazon. You know all this stuff. I shouldn't have to convince anybody here, right? So merch is too good to be true. I'd like to call merch the rocket. So this is the rocket thing that I was talking about. You guys recognize this lady, Sheryl Sandberg? Who she worked for? Don't look at the bottom. Facebook. Where did she work before? Google. This was a quote from the CEO of Google when he was trying to get her into a new position. And I didn't put the beginning of the part in it, but the beginning is, Sheryl, don't be an idiot. Because he was trying to give her a new position, and she didn't understand what it was, so she was asking all these questions. He's like, don't be an idiot. If you're offered a seat on a rocket, get on. Don't ask what seat, all right? So don't ask questions like, well, what about this? What about this? Like, get on. Get your merch account and get on, right? Because merch is the rocket. Like my Photoshop skills there, I had to twist it a little bit, right? So if you're not good at Photoshop, you can be like me and learn how to do this, right? I can copy images off of Google, and I can put the merch logo on it. You can find all that stuff on Google Images. So I think, do I have some giveaways for now? This is what I was worried about. I'd forget to give my stuff away. No, I guess not yet. All right, maybe soon. It's not like a lot of stuff. I don't have one for everybody or anything, right? So, you guys recognize this guy, right? Even though it's small, you can't see his face, you recognize the profile. I don't know how old this is, but Jim must really like this picture because he uses it everywhere. Am I right? Yeah. I'm the same way. I got like 2 pictures I like. Can you send me a headshot? Yes. It's the one from 10 years ago. And you guys might not be able to see it in the back, but this is October 11th, 2015. So Merch by Amazon came out September 30th of 2015. So this is like, less than 2 weeks after it came out. So I'm messaging Jim. I says, this is huge. This platform just came out. And Jim comes back. He's like, that's cool. That looks really cool. But let's wait till we have like some success stories. Let's wait till the platform matures a little bit. And I'm like, Jim, no, this is incredible. We got to tell everybody right now, stop what you're doing. Everything, you got some launch you're doing on, drop it, we're doing merch. And he's like, no, it's not ready. And who was right? We were both right. All right. Because merch was just as exciting back then. But Jim was right, it wasn't ready yet, okay? And that's what I got this first thing I want to open up. Who recognizes this? What's this? A merch shirt. And what's it smell like on the inside? You guys said money? It does smell like money. I actually love the smell of merch shirts. And it's not because it smells good, it's just because it reminds me of like this opportunity. Like it smells good. They actually put like Orca, this thing here, they put Orca on the thing right here. Someone left a review on Amazon for their shirt. It was a women's extra large, and they gave it 1 star because they thought like a rogue employee at Amazon put Orca on there saying that she was a big lady. Honest truth. Like you've heard stories like that where like on mail, pain in the butt customer on their Comcast bill. That's what they actually thought. I sent it over to the merch guys. They thought it was hilarious. So like an orca is a thin dolphin, right? Like it's has nothing to do with that. So it says it right here, orca. You can see it right here. So this is why Jim was right. Because you got to wait till it's proven, right? Proven's like Jim's little trademark. If he hasn't trademarked it, he better hurry up because probably one of you guys are going to do it. Yeah? Someone already on it? You got a phone? Not the flip phone guy. Everybody else. It's proven, right? Like now's the time to do it. Now's the time to do presentations. Like 2 years ago at CES, no, like merch wasn't ready. You could tell everybody get excited, but it wouldn't have done anybody any good. So I got this shirt. It's an extra large, it's a men's, but like anybody can wear that, right? So I ordered this. I was gonna wear it, but then I just went and picked it up now. So like, figure we just give it out. Who wants a shirt? I don't know how far I can throw it. Actually, let me tie it in a knot. You guys all signed a waiver to be here. You have to sign a different waiver for a t-shirt cannon. Here we go. Another shirt? All right, hold on. All right, let's give away some more shirts. Woo. You guys believe in the power of a t-shirt? These things cost like $4. And you see everybody hooting and hollering and getting out of their chairs, standing up, pushing. Guys, don't push over old ladies to do this. It's just a t-shirt. But it's the power of a t-shirt. That's why I almost called this the power of a t-shirt. It's just t-shirts. You guys see people at ball games like pushing over little kids to get like, oh, I might get some like youth small t-shirt. Doesn't even fit. They do it anyway. So we're all the way here. Well, I'm 25 minutes in already, and I haven't even told you what Merch by Amazon is, really. Am I right? Who still doesn't know what Merch by Amazon is? What are we even talking about? The flip phone guy? Yeah, sure. Merch by Amazon is the biggest opportunity for the most people, hands down. My opinion, of course, free to disagree. But what Merch by Amazon is a risk-free, capital-free model where if you make an image, a design like this is a merch shirt. All the shirts you guys got are merch shirts. What he's wearing right here is a merch shirt. You upload them to Amazon for free. Amazon's going to offer it for sale. Someone buys it. Amazon's going to print it and ship it and give you a royalty while you're in Jamaica, while you're at CES, while you're in Europe, while you're uploading new shirts. It doesn't matter. Completely free, and they're giving you money. So what I like to call them is like royalty-generating ASINs or royalty-generating product pages, because you do absolutely nothing, and when they sell, you get money. So if I told you, hey, I'm going to give you a product page on Amazon, you're getting started, you know, you're doing wholesale, you're doing private label, I'm going to set up a page for you, and when it sells, you get $7, and you don't have to do anything. How much would you pay for that? 1,000? All right, I'll sell you a bunch. Yeah. You're my best customer. That's what Merch by Amazon is, and it's free, right? And when it's free, people are going to stop valuing it. They're like, oh, like, how good can it be? How much money can you actually make on this platform? And you guys see it. Like Jim does a free podcast. There's a free Facebook group. Half his books, most of his books are free at some point, right? He'll just give them away at some point. When they're free, do you value them as much? Yeah, it's psychology. You have to overcome the psychology of when it's free, you don't value it, and say like, yes, this is free and this is incredible, and get on the rocket, okay? Like I get that like when it's free, I feel the same way. If it's a download, like if Dan Miller gave me his course, I'd be less likely to go through it than if I paid the money. Because once you pay the money, like you're invested. Now you've got to do it, right? It's the same way with merch. But I mean, I can't charge you for merch. I mean, I could. You can just pay me, I guess. But you don't have to. Just get on it. So overcome that psychology part, okay? All right, how about some merch trivia for the newbies, right? Merch trivia, capacity increase since launch. So when they launched, they had X number of printers. How many more can they do today? Just shout it out. You're all going to be, well, 25% of you are going to be right. E, over 9,000. No, that's like a joke, guys. Some of y'all know the joke. All right. D is correct. You win nothing. Nothing at all. You win the next slide, right? The busiest day for Merch by Amazon. How about before Christmas last year? Before Christmas 2 years ago? They might be eclipsed by D. It's B, actually, kind of randomly. I don't know why that date, but that's the date. The eclipse was unexpected for Merch. Merch was not prepared for the eclipse. Fastest time from order to ship, 30 seconds, 45 minutes, 2 hours, 24 hours. That's an easy one. Everybody said a lot of B's. B's is correct. How about this one? Who won the election according to merch t-shirts? C? Sorry, it's not C. And it's not B. Trump won the election according to merch. Keep in mind, this is keyword Trump, so it's pro-Trump and dump Trump at the same time, okay? So it wasn't a very deep analytical study that they did, but there were more Trump shirts, pro and anti-Trump shirts, if you want to call the election. So maybe they'll do it next time. So this is where you go to sign up. For the few people who have not signed up, merch.amazon.com. This works on your phone. You can do it now. I recommend doing it now. If you forget, you're just going to put it off another day, another day, another day. So that's where you want to sign up. I put this graphic in here. It's complete IP violation. I stole it from Google Images. But I like to call merch planting money trees, right? Because you plant money trees, and when they sell, you get money. You don't have to do anything other than water them. And even Amazon's going to throw some water on there for free every now and then, right? So we do want to water the money trees. Now, we talked a lot about this in California at the Proven Merch Live conference. We don't have enough time to get into all the different ways to water your money trees. You are going to have organic traffic, meaning if you just upload it, Amazon's going to throw you some search traffic, and you're going to get free money. You're going to get some sales. You're going to be like, this is literally free money. This is as free as it can get. Because you don't have to invest, you don't have to buy inventory, you don't have to ship to FBA, none of that stuff. So we will talk about how to water your money trees, but we're not going to get into all of the exact details now. Of course, organic, and then you're going to have, this was not planned. This was not planned.
This is the My Silent Team community right now.
Is that why there's 400 people here?
My Silent Time community, and we're watching right now, and sorry to interrupt you, buddy.
It's good.
They all said, they're watching, and they said, get out there and interrupt him, man. Jump on stage, see if you can throw off Chris Green.
No, you're like, you kidding? Are you kidding? No, make some noise for the My Silent Team.
This is the community right now. Should they be here? How about that? You guys like that? I'm doing it for you. And you guys, when you see me go live, Chris sent me this cool little gizmo right here. It like steadies the camera and looks good. Thanks, brother.
Dude,
appreciate it.
I love it.
Do you remember where you were before I came out here? That is the question.
Where I was?
In your presentation.
I was talking about the money trees.
Dude.
The money trees, guys. That's merch.
There we go.
All right.
Hey, man, I love technology. Tried to throw you off, brother. Did my best.
We'll check the replay because I got a little fear in my eyes. I was like, did I say something?
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's that.
Did I say a bad word by accident?
You get nervous. If you see Jim Cooper come out here, that's when you get nervous, man. I'm not the bouncer. Cooper's the one that'll take you out.
I've heard.
Back at the coaching table, man. That's the guy to fear.
Hey, go Pack go, right?
There you go. All right. Thank you, guys. Good job, Chris. Love you, buddy.
We're definitely going to go over time now, for sure. So you got organic traffic, and then you're going to have paid traffic, right? And there's different ways to send paid traffic there through a site like AMS, ams.amazon.com. You should sign up for that. We'll get a lot more information about AMS either in the Facebook group or sent out later. Of course, you've got Facebook ads. You guys saw what Brett Bartlett was doing. Like, you get the idea of like, wait a minute, if I got an audience and I have royalty-generating product pages, this could be good, right? It's not like you have the audience, now you got to go invest in private label product and prep it and send it in and hope they sell, and you got like some credit card bill, you got this inventory. Like, no, you got a listing, and if it doesn't sell, who cares, right? And if it does sell, you're making free money. You sell 100 shirts at $7 royalty, you made $700 while doing nothing. Like, it is so good, like it is kind of too good to be true. So you guys heard Brett Bartlett talk about an 8-figure fourth quarter. All right. Let's put you guys on the spot again. Hands up if you want to have an 8-figure fourth quarter. Keep your hands up. No, sorry, keep them up. Oh, 2 hands. Wow, 9 figures for her. Keep them up if you are in a position to bankroll the inventory required to have a $10 million fourth quarter. It's just reality, guys. Like, I'm not trying to like bring it down, but I talk to a lot of people say, I want to make $5 grand a month on Amazon, passive. I'm like, all right, what's your budget? I got $300. Like, maybe. Like, I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but if you want to double your money, you got to have inventory to support that, right? So there's numbers that work here. But who would like to have $1,000 a month doing nothing? Anybody? I mean, I know there's some big players in here, but if you're making $1 million, you're like, yeah, I'll take another grand, sure. I'll donate it to charity. I'll give it to my church. Do whatever you want to do with it. You can make $1,000 a month selling 5 shirts a day, right? Who in here has sold 5 products in a day before? How hard? Keep your hand up if you're like, whoa, that was so hard. I can't believe finally did that. Come on, Dave, put your hand down. 5 shirts a day. And this is the easiest saying, look, I don't know design. I'm going to hire a designer. I'm going to spend 1 hour doing a little bit of research because every single t-shirt on site on the internet is going to tell you their best sellers. That's not the copy. That's to go in and say, oh, I didn't know yoga and wine and chocolate and cats and dogs and unicorns were popular. If you're the last person to figure that out, no problem. Go to every site on the internet. They'll tell you what's popular. Hire a designer or learn to design yourself. You can follow all the YouTube videos. Upload some shirts. Spend an hour, 1 hour on it, and all of a sudden you're making a passive $1,000 a month. What are you going to do next month? 2 hours, 3 hours, as many hours as you want. Someone jumped to 40, right? Someone quitting their job and merch right away, right? All right, so how about making 6 figures? How many shirts are you going to sell every day to make 6 figures? Just guess. The math is not perfect. Someone say 38? Wow, it is 38. 38 shirts a day. All right, so who has sold any day of the year 38 items in a day? Right? You had a busy day. It was fourth quarter. You have an extra six-figure business sitting right there. That's at the most common price point. These aren't like $50 shirts or anything. $20 shirts with $7 royalties. Sell 38 shirts a day, you got passive six figures. You can quit your job for six figures, right? Let's see some reality, right? The eclipse. Who knows Kim Jensen? Some of you guys know her from Facebook? Some of y'all must. She's on Facebook. You should follow her. This is her last 7 days leading up to the eclipse. $111,999 in sales, and she got a nice check for over $40,000. She's baffled. She's like, I can't believe this is real. I'm like, yeah, like it's too good to be true. She loves this. So she came to our Seattle event. She sat down with the head of Merch by Amazon at dinner, and now they're going to do some kind of article about her or something. And it's just that it's putting herself out there. It's like, I'm going to upload this design and see what happens, right? You guys saw the Basket of Deplorables shirt? That was the first merch shirt to go #1 in the entire clothing category. Who knows how many items sell when you're the #1 item in the clothing category? How many in a day? One? Way more than one. About 10 to 15,000 of an item if you're the #1 seller. And they were making $5 a shirt, $5 on every shirt sold. Doing nothing, right? Very possible to make good money. FBA versus merch. Anybody kind of feel that pull? What should I do? Should I do FBA? Should I do merch? FBA requires capital and inventory. Merch does not. FBA is going to give you margins and profits. Merch is going to give you passive royalties. FBA is going to have people piggybacking on your listings and undercutting you. Merch is not. Your listing is yours. No one else can sell on it. Who's like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm so tired of piggybackers. Did I skip? Oop, go back. What else? What are the other differences between FBA and merch? Returns, physical products, customer service, right? And it's not that I want to get up here and tell you guys, no, don't do FBA, right? Because I might be the guy who got you into FBA, right? Who's in FBA because of Jim? Yeah, well, I taught Jim, so just saying. It doesn't even have to be a fight. You can do both, right? You can do both. But I think everyone should be spending time on Merch by Amazon because it's just going to get bigger and better. It's still day one with Merch by Amazon. So brief history, this was not meant to be a big business. This was not meant to be what it is today. But this is what's happened. Amazon has seen that there's a market for this, and they've grown it. They built the first Merch by Amazon business to compete with Google and Apple in their app stores. They were trying to attract developers to their Amazon app store. Who has a Fire phone? There's no way someone has a Fire phone. One. Oh, always one. Same number of Fire phones as flip phones in the house. They wanted developers for their platform. The developers go to the platforms where they can make the most money. And it's not easy to make money with an app, especially if you don't have a lot of users like on Amazon's App Store. So you have in-app purchases, ads, and merch. So Amazon's like, we'll make your merch for you. We'll integrate it into your games and all that. So to try to attract developers. That's where it came from. And their goals when this thing gets started is, this is not from Amazon, but it's from Amazon. Don't go to jail. That was actually one of their plans. All right, we're going to launch this, and we don't want anybody to go to jail with like the IP and copyright stuff. Don't damage Amazon's reputation, and don't give customers bad experiences. You guys have heard Amazon puts customers first, right? Customer first, customer first. There is a selfish way to put customers first, and that's staying in business, right? So Amazon does do things to stay in business, like raise fees and all these other things that you might not think of, like, no, customers first. Well, no, Amazon first. So if Amazon's not in business, then they can't put customers first. I never really thought about it that way until I heard somebody say it. So when it comes out, they definitely underestimated growth, not by 1 0, not by 2 zeros, but probably some more zeros than that. And if you think about it, they're managing virtual inventory. Everything at Amazon is set up to track physical products. And now we're getting into non-physical products. All of the t-shirt blanks at Amazon fit in a football field-sized warehouse, right? 3 stories tall. Solid, right? If you had to visualize how many t-shirt blanks. They have to manage what they have, how fast they can ship them, make sure the customer knows what they're going to get, have the right expectations. It's an incredible problem to have. ASIN creation. It's over 80 ASINs are created when someone uploads one image to Merch. 80 ASINs. ASINs aren't free. You guys remember that big site that had like all of the first print on demand where you could order coffee cups and mouse pads? Remember mouse pads? You guys know what I'm talking about? I'm not going to say them on the stage because I don't want to like throw them under the bus. But they got kicked off of Amazon because they uploaded everything. They tried to take their model of print on demand into Amazon's model of offering everything. So instead of saying, yes, you can customize this coffee cup with your name, it's like, no, we're going to put up every single name in coffee cups and upload 40,000 coffee cup ASINs to Amazon. And customers weren't looking at them because an ASIN is not free, right? Think about it. For Amazon to have a product page that they index and catalog, and if you search for the right thing, in a split second, they're going to go get it and show it to a customer, that's not free. It's not expensive on a unit basis, but to have millions and millions of ASINs that nobody wants costs money. So they couldn't handle it with that. They're trying to handle it better with Merch. And quality control. Who's gotten a bad Merch shirt? I have. Yeah, they're getting better. Disney and Marvel trust them. So if Disney trusts them for Disney shirts, then I trust them. Is that a fair way to put it? So if someone says, well, how's the quality? One, tell them just go order a shirt because they're being cheap. It's only $12 to order a shirt. And say if it's good enough for Disney, it's good enough for me. So as these costs go up, they're going to have higher fees. Amazon typically wants their business units to operate at like a 1 or 2% profit. If they're making any more, they want to reduce costs so that they'll get more customers. Make sense? If they're running at a loss, they're going to increase fees so they're making 1 or 2% because they're not in the business of losing money. But when you see fee increases come along like 7 cents more, don't be like, oh, Amazon's going out and, raising fees, they're going to get us. No, they got to cover the 12 IP lawyers they had to hire because you guys keep uploading Captain America shirts. Okay? So don't do that. So it started open. I'm gonna go through some of these really fast, and I'm happy to send you guys these slides. I can post them in the group. Started as an open platform. It's got now invitation only. They went to a tier system where you have to sell a bunch of stuff to upload more. That's good because if your stuff's not selling, you don't need more tiers, right? That's not going to solve your problem. At a time, they even paused upload. Says you guys can't upload anything else. Just stop. We got to kind of catch up. They started throttling items so they wouldn't even show in search. Daily limits. And then the 90-day rule now means if your shirt doesn't sell in the first 90 days, they're going to take it down for you. Thank Amazon for that. They're doing you a favor because 99% of shirts that don't sell in the first 90 days never sell. So yes, you can upload it again if you want. I think it's a waste of time, but you can. Okay? So Amazon's using data to tell you that it's not selling. They've done a lot of stuff to improve Merch. They have a design review team. They put in a lot of risk controls. They review submissions by keyword. So when you upload something that's got a bad keyword in it, like say you put Cardinals in there because you made a shirt about birds, but it caught it because it thinks you're doing St. Louis Cardinals, it'll tell you, right? And it'll say, no, like you can't use this keyword. And they're gonna be like false flags, right? They're not out to get you, but they're building this as they go. It's not perfect. Machine learning models and machine vision models, so they can image recognize stuff. They can say, oh, there's a Superman logo on this shirt, or this shirt is already on. This is a copycat. There's a lot. There's going to be a time where we look back and there's no copycat problem. And all of us now are going to be like, dude, remember the copycats? And people aren't going to believe that it used to be that bad. This is an Amazon kind of saying, invent your way out of a problem. And I think about it a lot because it was weird for multiple people from Amazon to use the same phrase. Invent your way out of a problem. So think about it. They got all these Captain America bogus shirts on there that people are putting up. Some of them, trying to like sneak, and some of them just not realizing you can't do that. So they said, you know what, let's just go get Marvel. Let's get Marvel on the platform. Let's just legitimize all those shirts. And now the problem goes away. So instead of saying, let's put machine learning in there to make nothing from Captain America, it's like, no, the customers want Captain America. Let's figure out how to solve the problem. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Who does not know this guy? Anybody? The whole room knows Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's impressive. So he's a big, famous personality, scientist. He called Amazon because they were selling Teal deGrasse Tyson nail polish. Very creative name they had. He says, what's up with this? Can we can I get a cut of this? They solved the problem. They said, well, how about we do this? How about we get your products, we'll put your t-shirts up, we'll build you like a little landing page. So if you go to amazon.com/Neil deGrasse Tyson, you'll see his page that they made just for him. And that led to something called the Fan Art Program, which is strictly invitation only, but if you're really good, you can probably get into it, where you can go in and create t-shirts for partnered brands like Neil deGrasse Tyson. or WWE or Marvel or Disney and submit it. If they get approved, like Disney still has veto power, right? If they're like, yeah, that's not very good, my friend, they can veto it. And if so, it goes up. Now you're going to take a lower royalty, but you get to use Disney licensing. Who would rather go to Disney and try to get a license or do it for free, right? Like, could you imagine, like, anyone who's done licensing, you got to go like prepay and guarantee sales and all. They're not going to listen to it. Well, they're not going to listen to me. Maybe you guys have a contact. I can't get Disney licensing. So you got licensing and sub-licensing options, but you want to treat merch like a game, just like a video game. And merch has kind of set it up that way on purpose. You got to get through the tutorial, right? What's the tutorial? Reading the terms of service. I'm going to pick on, don't be uploading the Hurricane Irma shirts, human tragedy shirts. If that's your first violation, you earned it, right? Because you didn't read terms of service. You got to get through the tutorial, right? So get through the tutorial before you can go to level 1 and 2. Get to levels 1 and 2. Don't cause any problems, like don't die, right? That's basically what you want to do. Don't die in the merch game, and you can start leveling up. Because who are they going to release new products to? Trusted accounts, right? So if you're waiting for hoodies, start selling t-shirts now. So when hoodies come out, they're like, yeah, we trust these guys with hoodies. They're not just going to wait until like just give hoodies to everybody. It would be an absolute disaster, right? Does that make sense to kind of treat it like a game? Search versus conversion. Right now, merch is very imperfect, and we're at that kind of weird stage where the advice I'm going to give you is not optimal for merch today. Okay, so everybody's stuffing their titles, their brands, their bullets, and their description with keywords because that's how you get discovered, right? That's the only thing that we can control. That's all we got. It's not going to work very well in the future for Amazon. They're not happy with kind of the way it makes the product pages look. They distrust that it starts putting in the customer to see a very long brand name that doesn't make any sense, right? I get it. We're going to come up in search, but just because you come up in search doesn't mean you're making any money, right? So when you search for your own shirts and you're on page 1, you're like, yes, I'm going to make some, like, you might make money, you might not. You want your page to convert. So you want to come up in search as well as convert. So don't focus too much on discovery. Think of it this way. Take a product page, whether you're on mobile or desktop. It's about 50-50. Kind of the older you are, probably there's a higher percentage you're on desktop, the younger, higher percentage on mobile. But customers treat these product pages as images. They don't read your title. They don't read your brand, but they notice if it's long or short. And if it's really long, it doesn't look like a brand. So it puts a little bit of distrust in there. All right, so things you can control, like I said, the brand, the title, the bullets, and description. You can also control the price and the image. Focus on making great images and have good prices. Because the customer is going to spend about 3 seconds on that page and decide if they're going to buy it. They are not going to read your spammy bullet points this long, where you put t-shirt in 45 times. They're just not. We might think they are, and we obsess over product pages. I want it to look like this, I want it to look like this. We're obsessing over something that doesn't matter, because customers spend about 3 seconds on a product page. They're going to buy it or they're not. They're going to buy it, they're going to look for more information. Okay? They're definitely not reading the bullet points. So best practices for merch: upload your best stuff. Once you get your account and you get 10 slots, upload your best stuff. Don't upload the stuff it's probably not going to sell, but upload it anyway. Focus on design and price. Make shirts that sell, and focus on an actual brand. Right now, merch is anonymous. You can have a different brand for every single listing. It's not a great strategy, in my opinion. It's possible in the future that merch is not anonymous, that all your listings are going to be under your ID or whatever merch calls it. It's going to make sense to have an actual brand, right? Like Brett Bartlett's building an actual brand with his laser guns, right? He's not just trying to like sell and like have nothing at the end. You build an actual brand and take that same strategy to merch. I want to show you guys just how imperfect merch is at this point. Like, I'm aware of it. And people are abusing the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. They are abusing Amazon. And they're gonna, what is it, your comeuppance? Is that like the right phrase? Like, it's gonna come get them, right? So just because other people are breaking rules and doing stuff, don't think you have to do it. Who's ever seen an image like this? Who knows what this is? All right, so this is like a submission document, like you submit this when you file for a trademark. So someone has filed for a trademark on the phrase, always be yourself unless you can be a. You've probably seen a lot of these shirts, unless you can be a unicorn, unless you can be a whatever. Unicorn's like the big one, right? The design on that shirt means absolutely nothing. It's not related to anything. The only thing that the trademark is the tag up at the top. So they have printed that tag and stuck it at the top. and submitted it to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to get the trademark. So whoever examines this says, okay, yeah, we'll give you the trademark on that. I don't see any reason not to. There's nothing else. And then they get a trademark on this. And then they go on Amazon and they search for everybody who's made a Always Be Yourself, unless you can be a mermaid or whatever. And they send a message to Amazon, I have a trademark on that, you need to take it down. And Amazon's like, I don't have time for this, and they take it down. Amazon's not in the position to say, look, we're going to decipher trademarks for you and we're going to be an advocate for this. No, they just take it down. They are abusing not only getting a trademark on this, because that's not a trademark, right? No one's going to confuse this as a source. Trademark is source, copyright is design, right? And there's a lot of information on the internet about that. I also recommend hiring a lawyer when you get into merch. So that's a problem right now, a huge problem. People who make these shirts are getting them taken down by mistake, and now we got to go fix it and either go back to the trademark office and file I petitioned this one. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. You guys aware that this was happening? It's insane that this is happening. But 10 years from now, we're going to look back and kind of laugh at it. But we're going through the growing pains. This is day one with merch. There are problems with merch, so be aware of them. Here's another one. Ask me about my. That is not a trademark. So when you search for trademarks and you're like, someone said they trademarked it. Well, just because they have a trademark doesn't mean it's legit, right? They are abusing the trademark office. And they're using that to kind of bully Amazon, and Amazon's not in a position to fight it. Amazon has a lot of fires going on, and they're going to let some fires burn. That makes sense? They can't put out every fire. This is a fire that's just burning right now. I don't know how they're going to fix it. I predict a lot of these places, if they have to reveal themselves to file some kind of objection, they're not going to want to reveal themselves because everybody's going to come after them, which is going to deter people from doing it again. Right? So transparency and authenticity on the internet are pretty much required. So I don't know how you'll be able to do this anonymously. So people are going to start being scared to do this. All right, so that's kind of some merch best practices stuff. We'll get into some Amazon best practices. And keep in mind, Amazon has data, and they test a lot. There's no company that has more customers on their site buying more things, which lets them test all kinds of things. They can change the font and test and see how that works. They can change the width of the image. They can change the hue of the feedback stars and see if that helps. And because they have so much data, they have something they can actually analyze instead of just a little piece that doesn't make any sense. One thing or two things that they pay a lot of attention to are dwell time and scroll depth. Those fancy words for how long you stay on the page and how far down do you scroll. About 3 seconds, right? They're not reading anything that you write. They aren't. It's just the way it is. And scroll depth. They're not scrolling down either. That's why the buy button's at the top, right? When they do scroll down, where do you think they go? Looking at sales rank, right? No, that's us. That's the sellers. Buyers do not care about sales rank. Where do they go? What's below the fold? Reviews, and what else? Asking questions. What other questions have been asked? And what are the reviews? And they're going to see if it's for me. That's what they want. Yeah, maybe, let's see if this is the one for me. That's it. They browse fast. Most of it is image and price. They either buy it or they want more details. That's it. You've got to keep it nice and simple, and then focus on the things that you can control. You want to build trust. You want to use your bullet points well. Keep them short and to the point. I wouldn't make them more than kind of one line. Don't send those distrust signals. Right? A distrust signal is that ugly brand name. Right? It's that spammy bullet points. And the more bullet points you have, especially on mobile, it's just going to push everything else down to where they're not going to go see anything anyway. Okay? So merch, like I say, we're in this kind of weird time with merch where, yes, if you spam your bullet points, you're going to come up and search better. But that's not a long-term play for Amazon. Amazon's going to come in and say, no, you got to clean up all your bullet points. If you got 1,000 shirts, now you got a lot of work to do. Make sense? So trust Amazon that they want to put up the best products. They want to get the right products in front of the right people and kind of optimize your listings for that. Amazon loves outside traffic. I know that organic traffic is great. Give me that search. Outside traffic, Amazon loves that a lot more, especially if it converts, if it turns into sales. Contributor score. Who's heard of that? Who knows what I'm talking about when I say contributor score? This is more from the seller side, right? So when they pull your product images or your descriptions or your titles to build a product page, that's helping your contributor score across all of your listings. But it's kind of cumulative. So if you do something bad on a listing, that's going to affect if they pull your information for other listings as well. You guys know that Amazon did that? Now, if you're a bad actor, they're going to like kind of push you down a little bit, okay? It's not currently on merch, but it'll come to merch. If they're doing it on Amazon, they're going to start doing it with merch. If you cause problems, if you have a spammy bullet point, probably going to hurt your other listings. So maybe don't do that, all right? So be consistent and trust Amazon, okay? There are a couple Amazon black boxes where even people that work at Amazon for 15 years don't know what's in them. Two of them are search and buy box. Search is always changing, right? So if someone sees a video where it says like, this is how you put in your bullet points to come up in search on merch. Well, guess what? Next year, that'll be worthless. And not that it's in a bad way, it just means there needs to be another one, right? You just need to update it. You need to keep optimizing. It's a continuously changing game, which is good for the people who keep hustling. And not if you just like put it up and like sit back and like, I don't know what's going to happen. You can continue to optimize for it because Amazon's going to continue optimizing it as well. Buy box, black box. Who wants to know the buy box formula? I can give you 99% of the buy box formula. For real. You want to write it down? Be the lowest price and use FBA. That's 99% of the buy box formula. Make sense? Does it seem obvious? Right? That's assuming your metrics are good, which they should be. If your metrics aren't good, I can't help you. Okay? And they're always changing. Things are always changing. So what works today isn't going to work tomorrow. So the future of merch, more products in more countries. I know right now it's T-shirts and it's mostly just the U.S. So this is going to grow. There's going to be, it's just going to be an astronomical platform to upload one item and have it available on 12 different products in 40 different countries overnight. Right? That's just insane. Right now, there's not a bulk purchasing option, which doesn't make sense. You want to buy 20 shirts? Well, you pay 20 times. The costs are different when you purchase in bulk. They want to address that. Print in advance. You got a popular shirt, they'll print it ahead of time. Sub accounts would be nice, right? So you can send it over to your VA. Say, hey, you handle this, upload all this stuff. Right now, you can't do that without sharing all of your information. An API for uploading, for repricing. Make it nice and easy compared to the way it is now. How about a merch app? And Fast Track, you guys know what Fast Track is? That's where you see like order the next 15 minutes and get it tomorrow. That's not on every listing. That's only on listings that have delivery time guarantees and they know they can ship it. Sometimes they get those on merch. Not always, if they can't ship it on time. But if listings that have that convert a lot more. You will get more sales if your listings have Fast Track on them. How about sponsored products? That's another one that's not in merch, right? Because they made their own platform. Back-end keywords would be nice. That's the reason we're spamming. Right? We're spamming our keywords because I can't put in my back-end keywords. Lightning deals, account health. Let me know if my account's like, if I've had too many violations. Lots of reports. And of course, down at the bottom is Seller Central. I can't guarantee it. This is all hearsay. But merch under Seller Central would solve all of these problems. Make sense? Everybody here has a Seller Central account? Wait, sorry. Who doesn't? Who's the one? Give me the one. Wow. No, was that a half hand? Are you joking with me? I think everyone's got a Seller Central account. So I don't know. Maybe merch will be under there. I don't know. Merch takeaways, there's no template for this. I can't just tell you do this, 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 and it's going to work. It's really about principles, right? You want to have a good-looking design that builds trust. You want to have a nice brand name. Just remember, customers shop fast. Customers are visual. They're not reading anything we put in there. You want to build trust. Think mobile first because those numbers are definitely trending upwards to go for more mobile. And focus on design and price. Customers are very visual. You got a good-looking design. It's going to help you sell. Who's been waiting for hoodies? Who wants hoodies? Yeah? Not everybody at once now. All right, calm down. I guess I can say this. I predict. I can't guarantee it. I would expect the best accounts will see hoodies by the end of the year. Right? And it's September. Like that's just a few months from now. The best accounts. So if you had an account for a while, you might get into the hoodie beta or whatever they end up calling it. But don't wait. Don't be like, well, I'll get in when there's hoodies. Get in now. There's no reason not to get in now. And it's not just hoodies. If you guys look at Musical.ly, you guys seen that app? They're a good merch partner. Anything that they have is going to be stuff that we're going to get, right? Like the pop sockets, the cell phone cases. Who here is teenage girls? How many cell phone cases do they have? 3 or 4? Only 3 or 4? Any with more than 10? It's a fashion accessory. I would have never thought cell phone cases. I have 1. That's it. Cell phone cases is going to be big. And guys, I mean, this kind of worked perfectly on the timing. Jim's going to come up here in a minute. But all this information is incredibly valuable, whether you want to use it for yourself or you want to use it for someone else. To have the capability that Merch by Amazon gives you, meaning you get to use their printers for free that cost $500,000 and get on Amazon search and acquire customers and fulfill orders and have 2-day shipping and Prime and all this, it would cost over $1 million to have the capacity that Merch by Amazon gives you by simply signing up. They basically gave us $1 million startup, right? So think about it that way. You got my garage, I got a Cornet 1000 in there, I can print anything that you want. Now what are you gonna do with it? Go to your local businesses. You can help them, you can partner with them, you can teach it to them or say, look, I'll put your shirts up. You guys know musicians, local bands around there, fundraisers for your church, fundraisers for your school. You have the ability to do all these things. The knowledge that you have of Merch by Amazon is incredibly valuable. And no one else in this hotel, no one else in this city has any idea what we're talking about in here. Like Merch by Amazon plus offline biz? Yeah, that sounds interesting. Who's already thinking about that? I'm gonna walk down Main Street. I'm gonna help every pizza joint in town sell pizza t-shirts and tell their customers, they wear them on Thursday, you get free half price, whatever appetizers. People are like, heck yeah, I wanna wear that shirt. I'm gonna wear it every day. I don't wanna miss out on my half price cheesy bread, right? Like, people go crazy. The power of a t-shirt, right? Like buy this thing here and I'll give you a t-shirt. Like, well, yeah, I wanna get the t-shirt, right? These t-shirts aren't very expensive, but they have a very high kind of perceived value, so you can leverage that value. The knowledge that you have of Merch by Amazon can leverage into so many things, all right? So don't just think it's like designing, I'm gonna design, that's it, that's the only thing I wanna do. Think about who you can help. Who do you know that could benefit from Merch by Amazon? Yeah, everybody. There's so many people out there that can benefit from this information. And if you give value to other people, you can charge money for it, right? If you feel bad charging money for your time, that means you value your time as zero. And I hope you guys don't do that. If you do, stop it and realize the information you have is valuable. Fair enough? 3, 2, 1. That's it. Jim, where are you at? How was that?
Awesome, buddy.
3,
awesome.
2, 1. It's
The
flashing.
timer, man. The timer.
It is.
Hey, man, I
thought
told
it was
you.
going to shock me or something.
No, the floor drops out about 30 seconds from now if you haven't stopped. Yeah, it's just like, no, you did an awesome job. Okay, guys, I told you, stick around for the end because we got something for you guys. And what I'm going to have the guys backstage do, if you're still watching the live stream, we're going to lose you here in just a second because I got something that's just for the people that are